Hi. Basically, I just wanted to share with you how Morecambe Community Church began, and to share with you the dream of Morecambe Community Church that God has given to us. We're into our 7th year now, and I can't say that it's been easy, but it's been an absolute adventure so far. It's been just amazing. And to think that God planted seeds in our life years and years ago. I remember one time at Spring Harvest, which many of you will know, I was 15 and God really spoke clearly to me through Ephesians 4, and where it says in verse 11 that He gave some to be apostles, some to be pastors and teachers, and all the gifts are there. And I really was questioning God at that time when I was 15. What is my gift, God? What am I supposed to be doing on this earth? It wasn't until years and years later that I found out that God really had given me the gift of an apostle, and there are many misconceptions that go with that gift. But I won't go into that now, because really what I wanted to share with you was the dream of Morecambe Community Church that God gave us and planted in us throughout the years. It was a process, it was a journey. And I remember probably about 9 years ago now, when we were working in the church, going to someone and saying that we really had a vision for a centre in the middle of Morecambe where people could just come and be, and we could get alongside them and build up relationships with them. At that time, it definitely wasn't the right time, but things had really advanced since then. And I just want to share with you now the dream that God told me to write down, probably about 2003. So it'll be almost 6 years ago that God told me to write the dream down that He'd given to us, and it sort of evolved over the years before that, and I managed to get it into words. So I really would just like to share it with you now, if that's okay. The dream of Morecambe Community Church. A dream of a church where hurting, confused, searching, questioning, ordinary people can come as they are and be accepted and welcomed, where they're not afraid to have questions, and where they can find the answers and a revelation from God. A dream of a church that shares and presents the good news of Jesus in a simple, relevant and up-to-date way that can be applied to people's lives. A dream of a church that shares Jesus' love, forgiveness and acceptance with hundreds and even thousands of people in the Morecambe and Lancaster area, and even further afield. A dream of a church where believers are built up and encouraged in their faith through small groups, seminars, Bible study, prayer, training, worship and service, and can reach their full potential in Christ. A dream of a church where people can laugh together, cry together, pray together, forgive each other, have fun together, encourage each other, but don't talk about each other behind their back. A dream of a church where everyone is encouraged to find their purpose within the church and the reason why they are here on earth, by finding their God-given gifts and talents and being free and encouraged to use them, where people are allowed to make mistakes and learn from them, and are allowed to change direction and try new things when necessary. A dream of a church that makes a difference in the community, of a facility where we can teach people everyday life skills, for example marriage seminars, parenting, debt counselling, where people can come for help and advice, where people who are very disadvantaged can come for food and even a bed and rehabilitation, where young mums can meet for a chat, where youth can hang out and keep out of the streets and maybe out of trouble, where single people don't need to be alone. A dream of a church where God's presence can be felt and people know that God is at work, as people's lives are being transformed into fully devoted followers of God. This is our dream, and I'm sure that it's God's dream. Is it your dream too? Because if it is, maybe you just want to come and share with us at Morecambe Community Church. Maybe you just want to come and see what we're like. You'll be made very welcome, and you can just either fit in at the back, slide in and not be noticed, or you can make it known that you're there, and we'll have a good chat. And don't forget that there's coffee and cakes at the beginning of the service at 10:30. We usually start our worship prayer around about 10 to 5 to 11, depending when everybody's finished chatting and had their coffee. And we have very lively worship. We do sense that God's there every week, and it's just amazing. We have an amazing kids church which is really growing. It's called Kids for Christ, KFC. And the kids are really getting to know that Jesus is fun, that Jesus is not boring, and that you don't have to sit in rows and be bored. You can have games and fun and laugh together and pray together and share as well their needs as children, and that they are still part of the church. We find it very important to have the children in church in the beginning, so they know they're just as important as everybody else, that the children play just as important a part as anybody else who comes, that everybody's accepted and equal. Well, it's been great sharing with you today, and I just pray that you enjoy this video, and that maybe you want to look at our website for more information, which is www.mcc.uk.com. Have a good surf, and if you want to contact me, you can contact me on tracy@mcc.uk.com. Talk to you soon. Be good to meet you. God bless.